Gumballs and Cures. I told my mom that I didn't like folded asparagus. She looked at me like I was ludicrous. I recoiled in my mind, knowing that it's always the ludicrous things that throw people off, then proceeded to cut my asparagus in half with scissors, like I was crossing the bridge from childhood innocence to being a full-fledged grown-up. But grown-ups aren't supposed to be ludicrous, are they? Would a grown-up realize that the only difference between you and me is the fact that our hearts are in different bodies? Could they tell the tale of the first day we met like it was a memory from 5 minutes prior? They would tell me that it gets better with time, that the memory of your laugh lines will slowly disappear, that the coloration of your face will slowly become more black and white on the spectrum until I'm forced to travel back in time to 1940 to see you. How many times did we have secret conversations? Just with our eyes or through words spelled out with our P's at the dinner table? If I were lucky enough to have a voice loud enough for you to hear, I would have stood in every street corner until I had a penny to throw into a well and wish you back. For then I'd be a millionaire. 5. Trying to force myself to gravel through your weirded ways is like trying to find a lost island. You're my Atlantis. You are the body that shapes and molds itself into my heart in every possible contortion, because every tremor I go through propels my body forward like the propellers of an internal ship set to sail straight for your body. Is it the thought that I think every time my ship sinks to the bottom of saying I miss you that you don't hear? You tell me. We were something. You and I looked more like uniformity than two separate white sails surrendering and settling, and as if our love was an excuse to fold into each other like a potter with experienced hands we molded. Our glaze was made up of colors only we could see. 6. You've made me a millionaire. Imagine we were standing on a cobblestone street. Zoom out on our city. Zoom out on our country, zoom out on our world, our galaxy, our universe. Zoom out until you see a man put a coin into a gumball machine and eat us. Eating us out of disappointment. Disappointment shouldn't be something to acquire. It needs to be that gut-wrenching feeling like when your world's pulled apart and your father is a burden breathing down your neck saying you could have been so much more. Though his breath helps no one discern right from wrong. Only how many wrongs can make a right? The answer? 5,617. Because that's how many gumballs it took me to prove to myself I want to love you. We are told that if our forefathers failed in their scrawny expeditions, you will too, for trying would be laughed at. But I'll put my emotions and my mind in a jar of formaldehyde for later examination and do it anyway. Defy the beliefs by rolling over forefathers who are too stuffed with grief and maggots to protest, because I swear to God I won't disappoint you. I swear to God. 17. We're so consumed in ourselves that it takes a scientist to tell us to believe again. There's the irony. So we'll listen to a man with a PhD, but not a man with a DHP, a dedication to helping people. That means more to me than any degree of insanity that I would pay for, just to have someone scream back everything that is wrong with my choices. Tell me something I don't know. As in why love chooses the worst time to tangle an umbilical cord around my throat just a little bit more than when I was born until I'm all choked up. Love has always been there to nurture. It's the man with a brick wall of logic and reason for a mind that needed love explained. Like Einstein's equation can produce enough energy to make a family. I'll always be able to push your buttons in a way that no one else could. Make you go off like a long-distance telephone call that you thought I dialed wrong. See, you don't give yourself enough credits to fill up your graduating requirements of humanity. You don't see yourself the way I do when I look at you. I don't look through you, I look into you. Into your heart, wishing, hoping that somewhere in your heart there is my blood that is swirling around in search of a reunion. But maybe the word maybe is just a lot of trust and hope shoved into one word that we use when we don't want to give up searching for an answer. Somewhere in this world, there's a kid sitting at home with a pad of paper 10 inches high and a grin slapped on his face as if he just smoked 10 joints, with the knowledge of a cure. But his smiley slowly fades as he realizes he wasn't lucky enough to get a gumball. No matter how tall his podium of knowledge is, he will continue to try as hard as he can just to be heard because, well, that's all he has left. Therefore, I will not stand around with my own thoughts about you not being heard because you deserve to be on my podium. I will scream until my lungs ache with loss of air and my vocal cords only have enough left in them to choke out I'm trying. 15. You used to make me rethink my potential. I used to believe that we were infinite. You made me remember what it's like to be 15 when you turn 16, and how the world works when all you have to hold on to is emotional innocence and 15 years of seconds to reminisce about. I will always have a will to love every part of you until you turn around and see my hands mirroring yours and a beckon to reunite. Maybe we're all looking for you, our lost myth, buried under the sea. And maybe you'll always be just a myth. But you can't stop me from loving you, and no one can stop me from trying.